So today, Shabana Mahmood has announced sweeping changes in the most radical proposals to asylum and refugee and immigration law in recent times. Mainly it concentrates on two things. One, reducing the number of people who come here illegally or via small boats and then claim asylum. Also, the number of people who come on visas, say student visas and visitors, and claim asylum. And two, removing those who are already here without a visa or illegal or have had their asylum claims refused quickly. They are the two core aspects to these new reforms. Let's break it down. So for the first one, what the UK government is proposing to do is pull out the pull factors. By doing this, at the moment, asylum seekers get a 5-year visa, and after that, they get indefinite leave to remain. They can apply to become permanent here. The government is going to change that and give them 2.5-year visas, after which it will be reviewed. If their country is seen as safe, they'll be told to go home, or they'll be extended, but it has to be extended up to 20 years before they get indefinite leave to remain. Asylum seekers will no longer automatically be allowed to bring their family members over. They'll have to qualify under certain routes. They'll have to work and earn, and also there will be a language requirement put in there. At the moment, if you're granted asylum, then you can call your family over with hardly any measures like this in place. So at the moment, the UK government has to house and fund asylum seekers while their claims are pending. This will become discretionary, and it'll be up to the local councils and governments if they want to do so. And also it'll be conditional on whether the person's broken the laws or not, whether they attend all their immigration appointments, and other factors, whether they can work but just don't want to work. So that will be considered before any support is decided by the government to be given to asylum seekers. So the statement also mentions that there will be increased raids on employers, and especially on those employers in the gig economy who usually use the defence, oh, well, the person is self-employed, they're contracting. That no longer will be a defence, and the government is working with the gig economy employers to ensure that they carry out the right checks. Also, digital ID will be introduced by the end of this parliament, by the end of 4 years, to make sure that everyone carries it with them in the right to work, so that the permission can be seen by employers. Now we come into the second part about how the government want to increase removals, how they're going to make sure that people who are living here are sent back. So what they're saying is they're signing more return agreements, making sure countries where there's now peace, according to the government, they will take back their refugees. Countries such as Syria are specifically mentioned in the statement. Also, the biggest, I think, controversial element is now the crackdown on families. So families living here illegally and those using their kids and the long residents to stay here, they will be cracked down on, and they'll be removed a lot earlier. There usually was a Home Office principle that they wouldn't touch families as such. However, now there's going to be a willingness to, as soon as an asylum claim is refused, to try and get that family back to its country of origin, back to where they've come from as such, and even financial assistance will be offered for families to go back. If a family refuses to go back, they will no longer be given any sort of support from the government. Many problems to removal comes when the original countries from where the asylum seekers have come, or people who have come who have overstayed, take time or refuse to take back their refugees or refuse to give travel documents. The government, in relation to this, has reciprocated and said that we're going to cut your visas. If you're not going to take back your illegals, then you'll have no more visas. 3 countries were specifically mentioned: Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Namibia, Angola. They're examples given, but other countries as well, such as India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nigeria, Ghana are on the radar. Sri Lanka, these countries are on the radar, and we can expect to see a reduction in visas if these countries don't take their failed asylum seekers and their overstayers back. In relation to appeals, there's only going to be one appeal allowed now. So no more multiple appeals, no more multiple applications to try and delay being sent back. An appeal or an application, especially a frivolous one, will no longer try and protect you from being sent back. the government are really cracking down on that. They're going to set up a new body of adjudicators, or an appeals body, which is going to fast track appeals, because currently there's a huge backlog in relation to that. So expect to see a lot more appeals heard a lot more quickly. So the crux of that, the statement, like I said, is in two parts. One, stopping people from coming here by cutting out the pull factors, such as a free accommodation, and the fact that people aren't sent back, and the cases go on for a long time, and the fact that families, the UK doesn't seem to send back families, cutting them factors out of it, and more stringent right to work checks, and increasing the number of people being sent back. So more raids, more sending back of families, the starting of sending back of families, and sanctions on countries who refuse to take back their illegal people, their overstayers, their failed asylum seekers.